well, all of you. Hello, welcome back. Sorry for this, guys. I'm just trying to take a look at if it's possible for you to actually see me. I think it is. So that is perfect. Yes. Yes, there we are. I think. Welcome back to Crypto Tutorial. Onto this video, I would like to discuss Bitcoin as well Xrp and other type of cryptocurrencies. But before doing so, I would highly appreciate if you could also down below join on Bybit. You will be earning up to $3,500 deposit bonus if you are a first-time depositor and you actually deposit enough to be able to get that deposit bonus. But also, if you are just depositing $100, you will be able to get a deposit bonus as well. And what is most important about this is that you are also going to support the channel by doing so. So thank you very much already, and I'm very glad I'm seeing a few comments down below by SR90. Good morning. Hello, Crypto Thorough, as well. EP Han, hello, and Shredder R, hi. Welcome back, guys, and I really hope you enjoyed the content so far. We are going to start today with Bitcoin. What I was explaining previously is that we are trading inside of this descending channel. What is most important is that we are seeing here multiple touch points on this descending resistance, and as well we are seeing multiple touch points on this descending support. I would like to call this a descending channel because we have been trading in between these ranges for a while. What is actually very important in the immediate short term, so actually for today, for Sunday, it's going to be very important to hold strong on top of the 0.236 Fibonacci level at $60,638 US. Why is this such an important level? It's due to the fact that we have been able to find support on top of it previously already several times. As well, if we look even further back, we found support on top of it as well. And what is actually important is that we actually also did experience some resistance underneath once we broke out underneath it. Well, yes, if we are breaking down, I think there are a few things that are important to know right now, and that is actually that if we see a breakdown occur underneath the 0.236 Fibonacci, it is very likely that we are going to see a breakdown all the way towards the 0.382 Fibonacci at $56,598 US. So that is actually a possibility. But what I think is actually unlikely to occur due to the fact that we are seeing this extra yellow line that I've drawn at $58,223 US. Why is this such an important line? Is because we experienced some resistance underneath it, and if we take a look at even previous data, you can clearly see that in the past we have seen major levels of support and resistance on top of this area. We have seen major support on top of it, major support as well over here, but as well resistance underneath, and therefore this level is absolutely important to me and crucial for the overall trend so far. And as well, at this point in time, we were experiencing a lot of resistance and support. So if we see a breakdown occur about underneath the 0.236 Fibonacci at $60,000, personally, I think we will be able to hold strong at 58 due to the fact that we have seen Bitcoin hold strong on top of it previously quite a lot of times. I'm also seeing a comment from Sharada R, and then he's talking about halving account on which me and him, Taurus, he says, will have to control. And he's the street. Please let me know if you are. No, I'm not sure what you're talking about. And then he is talking about account on which me and him, Toro, he says, will have control, and he says minimum that I have to deposit. No, please, I think this is for sure a scam. I would never send anyone a message when I would like to, control our accounts together, and also I won't, neither of us, I would never ask you to deposit $300. I'm just asking you right now that if you would like to support the channel, you are able to actually join Bybit. This is just a real cryptocurrency exchange where you are able to purchase and as well trade cryptocurrencies, but I would never ask you to join on anything else. So this is something I wanted to say. Let's go even further by taking a look at the MACD on Bitcoin. The MACD on the 4-hourly time frame, we have seen a crossover. I'm actually not that concerned right now due to the fact that this crossover on the 4-hourly time frame just occurred several minutes or well hours ago. And what I think is important about this to know immediately is that I think this is not absolutely bad for the overall trend. You can clearly see here we are not seeing any type of higher high on the momentum indicator, or we'll say on the momentum waves on the MACD. You can clearly see that the momentum waves are not creating a higher high. They're actually creating a equal high. So this is something that does not concern me. And as well, I think this momentum towards the downside won't last forever. And therefore, I think this could perhaps be a sign that we are going to see a green Monday tomorrow. So that is for sure something absolutely important. As well, something else I wanted to discuss is the MACD on the 1-hourly time frame. Clearly, we are still experiencing major momentum towards the downside. We are not seeing a momentum loss as we saw previously. So I think this is actually quite good right now for the overall trend, due to the fact that it could be quite good to see tomorrow a very green Monday occur. So that is something I personally think will occur, and therefore I will be actually opening a long position if we see a breakdown occur all the way towards the $58,000. This is exactly the point where I will be entering a long position if we see a breakdown occur today below the 0.236. Otherwise, I will be actually waiting until we see a confirmation of the trend breaking out above this descending resistance and being able to find support on top of it and seeing a major increase afterwards. So that is my second possibility. If we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, I would like to discuss as well the RSI and afterwards the EMA ribbon. After that, I would like to head towards a different type of cryptocurrency. As well, over here, we are still seeing a lower high on the RSI, a lower high on the chart. So that is absolutely looking good. And we are seeing a higher low on the RSI and a higher low as well on the chart. So these two are looking absolutely amazing to me. What I must say immediately is that if we are going to see a decline, we still have a lot of space on the RSI to see this decline occur. We still have enough momentum and space to see further decline before we are going to experience a trend reversal, because we are going to drop below the 30 on the RSI, so on the lower part below the dotted line. So right now the RSI is looking good for me. And as well, if we are actually able to hold strong on top of the 0.236 Fibonacci, what I think is very important is that on Monday we will have a lot of growth possible due to the fact that we are still trading underneath the 50 area on the RSI, and therefore the chances to see a major increase are actually very likely to occur. So on Monday, I'm very glad and pumped what could actually possibly occur on Monday so far. If we take a look as well at the 1-hourly time frame, you can clearly see that we have been creating lower high on the chart, but previously over here we were experiencing actually a higher high on the RSI compared to this high, and we were seeing a higher high on the RSI. So that is actually something that I must say was looking bearish to me. Afterwards, we experienced more downward momentum on the RSI, and that is exactly what we have seen as well on the price action of Bitcoin. So that's something that's absolutely good to know. What I must say is also that we are not seeing as well on the 1-hourly time frame any type of bullish or bearish divergence. And what is of utmost importance right now is to be able to break this downtrend on the RSI to see further growth towards the upside and break this downtrend to see exponential growth. So this is what I wanted to discuss on the 1-hourly time frame as well. Let's enable the EMA ribbon to take a look at what we are currently seeing. Well, right now, during the past couple of hours, let's say the past 24 hours, we have been trading underneath the EMA ribbon on the 1-hourly time frame. During the past sorry, I thought we were on the 4-hourly time frame. So during the past 6 hours, we have been trading underneath the EMA ribbon. This is for me absolutely important, because if we are going to experience downward momentum, we could perhaps see a decline as we saw previously on Bitcoin occur today. I am not very pumped about this, so therefore if we are going to hold strong on top of the 0.236, I think that would be a better continuation for the overall trend. But if we see a breakdown occur underneath it, the $58,000 level is for sure a level where I will be placing my long positions to see major growth afterwards. So these are the two things I would like to actually discuss so far. And if we take a look at the 4-hourly time frame, what you can clearly see is that we were able to break out above the EMA ribbon. We found support on top of it for a while, but right now we are once more experiencing momentum towards the downside, and perhaps we are going to see as well, if we zoom in just a little on the 4-hourly time frame, a crossover on the EMA ribbon. This could mean that we are going to experience some type of movement towards the downside, but so far I think Bitcoin is holding very strong on top of this level where we are currently at. So these were the things I wanted to discuss, and right now I would like to head towards the SOPR. Why I think the SOPR is so important for the people who haven't heard about it. This is the spent output profit ratio, sorry. Why is this important? You can see the horizontal line right on the one area that is actually showing us that the overall market is neither in profit or neither in a loss. So once we break down below the one area on the SOPR, this means that the majority of the market is actually in a loss, or they're selling their Bitcoins without a profit. And once we see major spikes above the SOPR, this means that the majority of the market is actually seeing a great return on their Bitcoin, and they're actually selling their Bitcoins with major profits. How higher, how more profits there will be. So you can see in 2013 and 14, we were seeing major profits being taken on Bitcoin. And right now as well in 2029, we saw as well very profitable Bitcoins being sold or being held as well. And as well in 2020, we are seeing exactly the same. So let's zoom in towards the past couple of months, and why I personally think that we still have a lot of continuation during this trend that we are currently seeing. What I think is very important to notice is that we have been seeing for quite a while, since April 2020 all the way towards let's take a quick look, May 2020 as well, we saw a lot of people actually in profit with their Bitcoins being very profitable above the one area on the SOPR. Afterwards, after the 10th of May, we saw a breakdown. A lot of people were selling their Bitcoin on a loss, and that is for sure something that gave me the opportunity to purchase Bitcoin at a cheap price. So once the SOPR is actually underneath the one area, I personally think that is a great opportunity to purchase Bitcoin, due to the fact that lots of people are selling their Bitcoin for a price that is actually underneath what they've bought. So they're actually making losses. As well, what I must admit is that what is actually looking good is that during this period in time, from the 28th of December all the way towards the 9th of May, lots of people were in profits, and it was actually quite exponential. You can clearly see here that we were at approximately 1.5 on the SOPR, and even at this point in time we were at the 1.7 on the SOPR. So these are major profits, absolutely. But if we zoom in towards a couple of weeks, the past couple of weeks, you can clearly see that we have only been at the 1.4 once, and right now we have seen Bitcoin go up once more, but we haven't seen major spikes in the SOPR. Unfortunately, we only have this until the 30th of September, so this is actually for the past couple of months, but for sure the price has been going up. At this point in time, once we saw this breakdown occur on the 30th of September, that was for sure a perfect buying opportunity for Bitcoin before October started. So right now I think the SOPR will look for sure differently, because lots of people will be once again in profit. But once you see a SOPR breakdown once more underneath the 1 or on top of the 1 line, that is for sure very important. This is what I wanted to discuss on the SOPR, and right now I would like to head straight towards the Xrp chart. So if we take a look at XRP, let's start with the XRP compared to US dollar chart, and a few things I would like to discuss right away. Firstly, before starting, I would like to actually as well discuss the comments for a while. So Shraddha R, thanks. Gracia Mumba. Guys, pay attention, there is scammers out there. Everyone who will ask you to send money, don't accept. Yes, I totally agree with this. Guys, there are a lot of scammers out there, and please do not send money to anyone privately. I personally would never ask you to do so, and also I know other crypto YouTubers such as Crypto Rover and other people I talk to won't ever actually ask you to send money to them. And Shraddha R, and your TA has been working wonderful so far for me. So thank you very much. I really appreciate those comments. So thank you guys. And let's take a look at, for sure, XRP. So clearly I've actually kept this descending falling wedge, or you perhaps might say a symmetrical triangle, due to the fact that we have seen a lot of, we actually saw this breakdown exactly as predicted. Well, it went all the way towards the 0.236. that is actually the level it should have gone to after this breakdown. And what I think is very important right now is to take a look at what we are seeing so far, and why I personally think we are still seeing a breakout. I'm not saying we're seeing a breakout outside of this pattern, but we are clearly seeing a breakout above this descending resistance. So why is this so important? This is a confirmed descending resistance on XRP. We have seen 3 touch points already, and right now we are breaking out above it. So this is very important to me, and as well I would like to actually replace the Fibonacci retracement, due to the fact that I can place this Fibonacci right now from swing high towards swing low. From swing high towards swing low on the 4-hourly time frame. Yes, I will be selecting the wicks because I think these are very important so far, because we held strong on top of this level for real. Very good that we held strong so good over here. And as well, let's take a look at what we are seeing. So far, I think it is very important to know that we are actually right now finding, well, we are not clearly finding support on top of it, but if we are able to close this 4-hourly candle in just a couple of hours on top of this 0.618 level, this would mean that we are going to find a stronghold on top of this area, and that would be very good for me so far, due to the fact that if we are going to see Bitcoin trade a little bit more downwards right now today, we are for sure going to experience a green Monday. That is for sure something I think will occur, but we have to keep monitoring the charts very closely. I think that is actually quite likely to occur, but if we see a continuation of the downward momentum, we will have to analyze the market once more. But my personal opinion is that it is more likely to see a green Monday occur than a red Monday. Therefore, if we are going to see as well XRP seeing realizing more momentum towards the downside, it is very likely that we are going to see a retest on top of this previous descending resistance. So we are going to find support on top of previous resistance. This would be actually very good, even if we go all the way towards the 0.5, due to the fact that if we hold strong on top of this level, we are going to see exponential growth afterwards by actually seeing this retest occur, and afterwards growth towards the upside. So these are things I will be monitoring very closely. And to confirm this theory, I would actually like to take a look at the RSI. If we take a look at the RSI, we can clearly see a higher low as well on the chart. So we are not seeing a type of bullish divergence. What we are actually clearly seeing is here we are seeing a higher high on the RSI. So that is something that I must admit does not look absolutely wonderful. And we are seeing an equal high on the chart. So what does this actually mean? This means we are actually spotting a bearish divergence, but I would actually not like to call it that way due to the fact that we are actually seeing a bearish divergence, yes, but it's just a minor bearish divergence, and most of the times it can be way more overextended before we see actually a reversal taking place. So if we are going to see today more momentum towards the downside on XRP, finding support on top previous descending resistance and as well on top of the 0.5 Fibonacci, for sure I am still very bullish on XRP, and I think that would be actually very good as well for this RSI metric, how it's currently looking. As well, if we see more momentum towards the downside on the RSI, it would be actually very good because we will be heading a little bit further down, and that could give us extra space to see major growth on Monday. So that is something I think is absolutely important. As well, on the 1 hourly time frame, let's take a look at what we are seeing. Well, clearly we are seeing over here as well higher high, higher high. So on the 1 hourly time frame, it looks actually very healthy, and not a bearish divergence is spotted over here. We have been trading on the RSI on top of the 0.5 RSI level, or sorry, 50 RSI level for quite a while. This is actually very good because this is showing us that on the 1 hourly time frame, the market has been in overall profits, and that is actually very good for me so far. What is actually as well of importance to me is that if we're going to see a continuation towards the downside, we are as well going to see a minor drop below this 50 level, but we are going to see as well on Monday enough space to increase a lot. So those are a few things you have to consider so far. I would like to enable as well the MACD. On the MACD, you can clearly see that we are losing strength on the momentum. We are seeing a crossover almost occur on the MACD, so this is for me very important due to the fact that we could perhaps see a decline and as well a retest on the 0.5 as I told you before, and as well finding support on top of this descending resistance. On the 4 hourly time frame, we are as well losing momentum, but a crossover is still not there anytime soon, so perhaps we are not even going to see this crossover occur on the 4 hourly time frame, because on Monday we might expect movement towards the upside instead of even more downward momentum. On the 3 hourly time frame, we are as well losing strength, and on the 2 hourly time frame it's actually the same. So for XRP right now, so far I think we are going to see a continuation of this downward momentum. If we head a little bit further, I would like to enable as well the EMA ribbon, and I'm seeing as well a few comments of SR90 that's saying, what are your thoughts on ADA? Thanks, bro. So I would like to take a look at ADA for sure, and right over here the EMA ribbon is actually showing us that the 0.5 is actually going to be a stronghold. Why is this so important to me? It's because we have already experienced major momentum towards the downside during the past couple of days, or you could actually say weeks actually, because we have been creating lower highs for quite a while now, and right now we are breaking out above it, and we are also seeing that the EMA ribbon is actually experiencing a crossover so far right on top of the 0.5 Fibonacci. So if we are going to see more downward momentum, the 0.5 will be a stronghold for the upcoming hours. If we break down below it, the 0.382 at $1.04 is for sure a level you would like to keep in mind, but I think the 0.5 is actually very important. We have been able to find support on top of it already multiple times, so already 4 times just in this couple of weeks previous. And if we take a look even further down, we were able to find resistance underneath it, so it's already a major stronghold. So this level over here, 0.5 at $1.08, is a level you would like to keep in mind right now so far, that if we are breaking out below it, we might experience more momentum towards the downside, but I personally think if we hold strong on top of it, we are going to see more growth afterwards, perhaps tomorrow or the next after tomorrow on Tuesday. So by taking a look at the requests down below, I can see that SR90 wanted me to discuss ADA. But before discussing ADA, I would actually like to give you a target on XRP where we could possibly head towards. So my target is going to be very easy. That is actually going to be the previous well, start point or beginning of this descending resistance. Why is this actually so? Because I actually I count this pattern as a falling wedge and not a symmetrical triangle. And a falling wedge is actually very easy to measure because the beginning of the falling wedge is actually as well your target. So my target would be, after retesting on top of the 0.5 at $1.08, my target is going to be $1.174. So that is actually a exponential growth towards the upside. From measured from now on, we are still seeing a growth of approximately 6%. But if we head all the way towards the 0.5, that is actually something I think is very likely. We are actually going to see a growth of approximately 8%. So, well, let's say 8.9%. So that is something I think is very important. And can you please change the color of the RSI? Yes, for sure, I will change the color of the RSI on the next one by taking a look at Cardano. So if we take a look at Cardano, well, clearly we saw this fake out on Cardano. Afterwards, on this point, we saw this major decline, and we went all the way towards the $1.81. So that is something I was very concerned about, due to the fact that we have been experiencing a lot of downward momentum. And just like I've discussed previously, the orange area over here is the major stronghold for Cardano. So right over here at this point in time, I must say that Cardano has to stay on top of this area. Otherwise, I will be concerned about the overall trend. But I'm sure this will actually not be a problem, because I know Cardano has a lot of potential to keep on continuing with this growth. And after today, I think we are actually going to see major growth. So let's start with the RSI. But before getting started, I would like to change my colors. So it is not very visible. Let's make the RSI, well, red then. If we take a look at the RSI, let's make the RSI a little bit red, so all of us are actually able to see it. Sorry guys, just a moment. Please let me know if you can see the RSI well, better now. Otherwise, I would love to change this once again for you. So let's store this like this. So this is the RSI right now. So for all the people watching, RSI is for sure this color right now. So it's going to be red. Are you still in your XRP long from 85 cents? Yes, I'm still in my XRP long from 85 cents. I'm not actually taking, I will discuss this very shortly. I'm not taking my profits right now, because I still believe we are going to see major all-time highs getting reached. So actually entering my long over there was a great opportunity at that point in time. And I was concerned for a while once we saw this fake out all the way towards the 0.93 level. But fortunately, we did not reach the 0.85. Well, I actually entered at 0.86. But at this point in time, I was for sure monitoring everything very closely. But we were able to find a stronghold on top of the $1 level at 0.236. So that was actually quite good to me. And I did take some profits. I took 10% profits at that point in time. But right now, well, I'm keeping my long position open so far. Let's discuss ADA. So ADA, we have seen this breakdown. Right now, we are still seeing this. I am still actually looking at this descending resistance as a level that you have to keep in mind during the upcoming days. Just due to the fact that we saw this fake out doesn't mean that this level is not still a major level of descending resistance. And therefore, I would like to actually tell you that I am personally not entering any type of long position on Cardano until we are seeing a clear trend reversal taking place. When is a clear trend reversal taking place? So that is actually very good to know. A clear trend reversal is taking place for me once we are actually able to see a breakout occur above this line of descending resistance, finding support on top of it, and seeing major continuation. So once we see a breakout occur above this line, I will be entering a trade towards the upside, so placing a long position. Right now, I am still a little bit doubtful because we have seen so much downward momentum. I think right now we are actually on a level where we are not going to see way more decline in price action, but still I am monitoring the chart closely on Cardano. What I would like to do over here is actually to place a Fibonacci retracement a little bit different. I would like to place it like this. Why I'm choosing for this option from swing low towards swing high, it's due to the fact that I always like to place my Fibonacci let's say at mirroring the previous trend. So this trend was towards the upside. Right now we are experiencing a trend towards the downside, so therefore I'm selecting a swing low towards swing high Fibonacci. If you see right now a trend getting started towards the upside, I would select my Fibonacci from swing high towards swing low instead to see the extension levels towards the upside. That is something that we are not able to see right now. So if you can take a look at this Fibonacci, you can clearly see that we are unfortunately trading underneath the 0.5 Fibonacci. What is important right now? A few things. On the RSI, we are not seeing any type of bullish or bearish divergences. On the 4-hourly time frame, what I think is important on the RSI is actually to be able to break out above this descending resistance on the RSI. Why is this so important? Due to the fact that if we are breaking out above it, we could expect major growth afterwards. So this is actually as well a great moment to actually enter a trade, a long trade position, because if we break out above this line, we are going to see growth towards the upside for sure. That is something I think personally will occur, but still I'm doubtful so far on Cardano. So once we break out below this descending resistance on the chart, that is the moment when I will be going long for sure. As well, let's take a look at that question of SR90 underneath. What is the absolute lowest price you think Cardano could reach? So Cardano, my personal target where it could be heading towards is absolutely the orange box. If it breaks out below the orange box, I will be actually concerned about the trend on Cardano. But right now, I think the level you would like to accumulate even more Cardano, and what I personally am doing is actually at this point in time I wasn't able to accumulate Cardano. I was quite upset about it, but I have been accumulating Cardano here on spot trade. I've been purchasing Cardano right now underneath the $2 level, and as well once it reaches the $1.81, I will for sure be accumulating way more Cardano. And once I'm starting to get concerned, it's once we drop below the $1.59 for sure. I think that is absolutely insane and something that I think won't occur in the short term. So that is my personal opinion so far, and I think if you would like to show me why this theory is so important to me, it's because previously during the previous trend we saw a very stronghold getting created on top of this area and in between these two levels. So therefore, if we are able to hold strong on top of the orange box, I'm not concerned actually about the overall trend on Cardano. So $1.81 would be my personal target to accumulate even more. But let's take a look at the MACD. So if you can see, the MACD on the 4-hourly time frame is actually losing strength. Therefore, I think a retest of the $1.81 is very likely to occur so far, and something I think personally will be occurring during the upcoming hours, perhaps even today, during the Sunday, we will reach the $1.81, a major stronghold on Cardano, and I think a lot of people will be actually accumulating and placing their long positions over here to go long on Cardano so far. So that is something you would like to keep in mind. As well, if we take a look at the 1 hourly time frame, we are clearly experiencing a crossover right now on Cardano. So for the immediate short term on Cardano, I think we are going to head towards that $1.83 direction on top of the 0.618 Fibonacci. This is a stronghold right now, so in between, on top of these two levels. But if we are breaking out below the 0.618 Fibonacci, it is very likely that we are going to find a stronghold on top of the $1.59 for Cardano. As well, let's enable the EMA ribbon on the 1 hourly time frame. You can clearly see that we have been experiencing major momentum towards the downside, a lot of resistance above us by the EMA ribbon. We are not able to break out above it without getting rejected, so that is quite unfortunate. And if we head towards the 4 hourly time frame, we have been experiencing this major downward momentum on the EMA ribbon for such a long time already, that I personally think that if we are going to reach the $1.81 level, we are for sure going to create a trend reversal afterwards, and that is something I personally are very pumped about. So this is what I wanted to discuss as well. Let's take a look at the EMA ribbon on the daily time frame. Yes, unfortunately we have seen it crossover over here. I personally think it is unfortunate due to the fact that if we are not able to break out above it after retesting the $1.81, that is very likely that we're going to see a continuation of this movement towards the downside, because it will serve as a major level of resistance above us. But something I want to discuss, and is absolutely important right here, is actually the moving average, and not just one moving average, but the 200-day moving average. Why is the 200-day moving average on Cardano right now so important? It's because we are actually heading towards a retest of this 200-day moving average. And what have we seen previously? Once we see a retest on Cardano of the 200-day moving average, it is very likely that we are going to actually see a major exponential growth afterwards. What we saw in the past during the daily time frame touch point with the 200-day moving average was that we increased by almost 200% afterwards. I think this is actually quite a similar market structure. We have accumulated downward for quite a long time right now, and once we reach a touch point once again, perhaps breaking out below the 200-day moving average just for a while, that is something that we saw in the past as well. Like here, we broke down below the 200-day moving average just for a small tad, and afterwards we increased exponentially. I think this is actually very likely to occur on Cardano on the $1.81 level. Therefore, I will be accumulating more Cardano on this area, and as well I will be entering a small long trade position. It's very small, don't take me wrong, I will enter a very small long trade, but once we break out underneath above this descending resistance, find support on top of it, this is when I will be, well, accumulating more, and when I will be actually as well adding more to my long position. So this is for sure something you would like to take into consideration. The $1.81 level is absolutely looking very strong to me right now on Cardano. So for the people who were wondering about it, I hope all your questions have been answered. Yeah, I've seen a lot of questions over here about Solana. So Solana, let's take a look at what we are seeing here. What I think is important so far is well, for sure, Solana on compared to Bitcoin. Why I would like to discuss Solana compared to Bitcoin is because I think that is absolutely important. And yeah, on the daily time frame, I would like to discuss it. Actually, I would like to take a look at a few things. So on the daily time frame compared to Bitcoin, we are a little bit overextended compared to the 200-day moving average. The gap is approximately 94%, so this is actually quite overextended if you ask me, and therefore it is likely that we are going to see further decline if we are not able to hold strong on top of the 0.382. So this is something you would like to take into consideration as well. The EMA ribbon right now is still supporting the trend. compared to the Bitcoin strength, but for sure this is something you would like to monitor very closely, because if Solana is not able to hold strong on top of the 0.382 Fibonacci level on the strength compared to Bitcoin chart, it is very likely that we are going to see a decline below the EMA ribbon, and as well even further towards the downside, heading towards perhaps a retest once again towards the 0.5. And if we are not able to hold strong over here, even further decline is possible. As well, what I think is important to know over here on the Solana chart daily time frame is that we are seeing this descending resistance. Why is this so important to me is actually due to the fact that I would actually like to place this differently. Sorry for that. I would like to select the wick of the candle, because on the daily time frame the wicks are actually very important. We have seen already multiple touch points on top of this descending resistance, therefore it's a confirmed descending resistance line. And what I personally am seeing over here is that if we are not able to break out above it right now, it is likely that we are going to see a rejection towards the downside once more on the compared to Bitcoin strength chart. So this is what I wanted to discuss over here. Right now I would like to head towards the Solana compared to USD chart. So Solana compared to USD, daily time frame, absolutely looking good to me. Clearly, absolutely looking good. What I think is unfortunate is that Fibonacci is not very well drawn on the daily time frame. Clearly, you can see that we are trading above the EMA ribbon, so that is actually looking very strong to me right now. And this is looking absolutely good. And as well, you can see that we are holding strong on top of the $180 level. Why is this so important? Because we have been able to find resistance underneath it and support on top of it previously, as well finding resistance at this point in time underneath this level, and that is for sure why this level is so important right now. So if we break out below the 180 US dollars, I personally think it is likely that we are going to see a further decline. Still, we are being supported by the EMA ribbon, so that does look very good to me. So if we are going to see decline on Solana, it will only be eventually a bad decision once we, or it will be a little bit more, how may I say it, well, careful once we see a breakdown below the EMA ribbon. But so far this trend has been holding strong very good on top of this EMA ribbon, so therefore I think it actually looks very good to me. And if we place this trend line, you can clearly see we are placing this on the daily time frame. I'm going to select the bodies of the candles because I selected the body of the candle as well at the beginning. You can clearly see that we have seen multiple touch points, so this is a confirmed ascending support. And if we're going to see a touch point once more on the daily time frame, it's actually going to not just only be a touch point on top of the EMA ribbon, but as well on top of this trend line, and it will actually be showing us that we are still inside of this upward trend. If we break down below it, we might perhaps experience some movement towards the downside. This is what I wanted to discuss on the daily time frame. If we head towards the 4-hourly time frame, I would like to place a Fibonacci retracement and as well discuss the EMA ribbon just very shortly. So the EMA ribbon does actually look good. Unfortunately, we are breaking out below it, so perhaps we are going to experience some momentum towards the downside if we are not able to recover rather quickly. But if we are going to see an increase on Bitcoin tomorrow, it is likely that we are as well going to see an increase on Solana, and perhaps we are just going to see a V-shaped recovery, finding support on top of the EMA ribbon once more afterwards. But that is just one of the possibilities. So the 200-day moving average compared to the 4-hourly time frame looks actually very good. What I must admit is that if we see a breakdown below the 200-day moving average or a retest on top of it, we could perhaps expect just a period of consolidation and afterwards major growth. So that could be actually quite good for sure for the overall trend. But do not forget that tomorrow it will be 1st of November as well, and once it's the 1st of November, that is why I think we are going to see major growth on the charts. That is actually something I take into account as well, why I personally think that is quite likely to occur. So we are seeing this continuation towards the upside, but we have seen previously this movement towards the downside. Therefore, I'm placing my Fibonacci retracement from swing high towards swing low. What is very important to me so far is that we are trading underneath the 0.786, and therefore it is likely that we are going to see a retest of the $180 level. That is the green thin line that you are seeing over here. This is the stronghold that I would like to consider for the immediate short term as the stronghold you would like to see Solana holding strong on top of. Otherwise, it could be quite a major decline in Solana's price action, and that is something we absolutely do not want to see occur right now. As well, because it's going to be a breakdown below that ascending support I discussed previously on the daily time frame. If we take a look at the MACD on Solana, the MACD is actually already experiencing a crossover on the 4-hourly time frame. So on the 1-hourly time frame, we are still seeing as well this crossover continue, and we are not yet seeing, well, a momentum loss or a momentum decline. Therefore, I expect that we are still going to see that $180 level getting reached during the upcoming hours. If we go towards the RSI, the RSI is actually, oh, this is a pity. The RSI did not actually kept the colors we wanted, so that is something I do not appreciate. So if we take a look over here, the RSI did not save the colors we wanted on this channel, but right now I hope it will. So these are the colors, this is the RSI, and clearly we are as well here seeing this descending resistance on the RSI. We are as well seeing and not any type of bullish or bearish divergences. So this is absolutely looking good. At this point in time, we were actually seeing a bearish divergence, but that is actually already played itself out as well. Let's take a look at the money flow. Lastly, I would like to do that. By taking a look at the money flow on Solana, we can clearly see that we are as well experiencing this downward momentum on the money flow, and we are not seeing any type of bullish or bearish divergence either on the money flow chart. Therefore, right now, I think it is most important to break out above this descending resistance on the RSI and as well be able to see major increase afterwards. What I think is important so far on the RSI is that if we see more momentum towards the downside, we will be heading towards the lower part underneath the dotted line, and therefore I think a trend reversal will be taking place afterwards. So at the $1.81 level is actually going to be a very good stronghold. So everyone who is watching so far, I really appreciate you guys watching this live stream, and if you are enjoying the content, I would highly appreciate if you could hit that like button down below. And such as I started this video, I would like to once again ask you guys that if you are right now willing to purchase cryptocurrencies, you can support the channel by doing so if you use the deposit link down below on Bybit, and you will be also able to earn up to 3,500 deposit bonus for first time depositors. So that is something very important. And as well, for the people who are not still following me on Twitter, please follow me at Toro Crypto. It will be highly appreciated. For all of you watching, thank you very much for doing so. But right now I will be, quite unfortunately, going to record a new video, so please do not forget to go to Twitter and actually take a look at the next tweet and vote for the next cryptocurrency you would like me to discuss during the next video. So thank you very much guys for watching the live stream so far. I really hope you have a nice Sunday, and let's hope for a green Monday. So bye bye and have a nice day guys.